Hello students, sorry I couldn't be there today. Please make sure you're paying attention to these notes and following along, and you'll have a couple of assignments to work on when we are done. So this is basically reviewing what we did last week before the quiz, and so we're going to give you more practice. So we worked on solving systems by graphing. That's where we graphed two equations on one coordinate plane, and you see where they're crossed, and that's going to be your solution. They're going to give you some equations that are in slope-intercept. So in that case, we graph our y-intercept first, and then use our slope, rise over run, to find the second point. Other times, they'll give you your equation in standard form. We can solve for the x and y-intercepts and then graph them. However, they might give you a couple that give you a really ugly x-intercept. So you also have the choice, and you will want to at times switch it into slope-intercept and graph that way. So you're going to make sure that after you graph it, with your finding your 2 points, make sure you draw straight lines using rulers. And remember that if they don't cross, then there's no solution. So let's take a look at a couple of these. So both of these are in slope-intercept. As a reminder, slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. The part that doesn't have x is your y-intercept, and that's what you should plot first. So for this first one here, the y-intercept is -4, so I'm going to put a point at -4 on the y-axis. And then I'm going to use my slope, which is rise over run, to go up and over. So I'm going to go up 3 over 2 because it's positive. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So I have a point right here. You then draw as straight of a line as you can, making sure to use a ruler. Kind of extend it all the way through. It's going to be kind of hard for me on my iPad, so I'm going to try the best I can. And then I'm going to graph my second line. Its y-intercept is +4. So I'm going to put a point here. And its slope is -5 over 2. So I can go up 5 and to the left 2, or I could go down 5 and to the right 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2. Oh, perfect. Or I could have went up 5 and to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2. And then I would draw, again, as straight of a line as I could. And I see that they cross at 2, -1. You should write your solution as an ordered pair of whatever point that they cross at. And they both cross right here. Well, I think they did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2. Yeah. So that is my solution. All right, these are both written in standard form. So we have a couple options. We can use their x and y intercepts for both, or we might have to change one into slope-intercept form if it doesn't give us very nice intercepts. So for the top one, I'm going to go ahead and use the intercept method. So that's where you take the x term and set it equal to the other side. So I get x equals -4, and I do the same thing for y. So the y term, 2y equals -4. If I had a minus sign, I would take that with me too. And then we solve for each of them. So x equals -4, that's already solved, so I'm going to put an x-intercept at -4, so on the x-axis. 2y equals -4, I need to divide both sides by 2. Sorry, my cat bumped my hand. Y equals -2. So then I have a y-intercept at -2. And I could draw to connect them. Again, you want to use your ruler to keep straight lines as possible. Hope for the best there. Up to... And then I could try doing the same thing to find the other x and y intercepts of the second one. So 3x equals -8, and then the 2y equals -8. And when I go to do this, divide both sides by 3, I get an x-intercept of -8/3. Ugh, that is a horrible fraction. If you get a half, you could probably get away with it, but I really can't graph in thirds. So in this case, it'd be better to transform. So we're going to kind of ignore that. We're going to transform that equation into its slope-intercept form and graph like we did in example 1. So we worked on this last term. So 3x plus 2y equals -8. Or not last time, we just worked on this. We just took a quiz over it. We want to get y by itself, so I'm going to subtract 3x from both sides. I can't combine these, so they're written right next to each other. Final step is divide both sides by 2. Every piece by 2. And I get y equals -3/2 x. -8 divided by 2 is 4, so -4. Now I can graph in this form. My y-intercept is at -4. I have a slope of -3/2, so I need to go up 3, 1, 2, 3, and to the left 2 to make it negative, or I could have went down 3, 1, 2, 3, and over 2 that way. Either way. Where they cross is going to be my solution. So I have one solution. It crosses at 2, -1. You always write x and then your y. So like I said, if you end up with bad intercepts when you're working with standard form, go ahead and rewrite it into slope-intercept form and try graphing that way. That'll help you get around if they give you a really nasty looking x-intercept. All right, this top equation is y equals 4. I don't see x anywhere, so that means this is a horizontal line. So at y equals 4, I'm going to put a point there and make it a horizontal line. If it said x equals a number, that would be a vertical line. And now I need to only focus on finding my x and y intercepts of my second equation. So you're going to take the x term, set it equal to whatever is over here, 2x equals 8. And then you're going to take the y term for the y-intercept and set it equal to the other side. So 4y equals 8. Make sure, again, to take the signs. If there would have been a negative sign in front of one of those, you need to keep it. You solve both of these by dividing. X equals 4. Divide both sides over here by 4. Y equals 2. So I would put a point at x equals 4 and a point at y equals 2. And then we are going to do our best to draw a straight line to connect them and see where this crosses. Line was not that great of a straight line. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. I think it should have crossed about here if I would have drawn a nice straight line. I could figure that up by finding the slope between these 2 points, so it went up 2 over 4. So to find another point, it could have went up 2 over 4. So I would have crossed there. So that's at -4, +4. That's why it's important to draw straight lines. I didn't have a ruler with me, so I did my best to draw freehand. Alright, so for your couple assignments today, you're going to be working on graphing in these two forms. Again, if they don't cross at all, which means they must have the same slopes, they are parallel lines, your answer will be no solution. If you have time, you can also finish working on your assignment from last week. I hope you all have a good day, and I hope to see you soon.